Back inside, Stan's share of center, and we get right to action on a Sunday afternoon. Clippers looking for their first preseason win as they take on the Shanghai Sharks. Clippers will have the ball in the second and third quarter to start those frames. Right now, the Sharks open it up. And Lindong down the lane for Shanghai. And there you see this second round pick and Terrence Mann. Very impressive night to open things up in a losing effort against the Houston Rockets back on Thursday. Believe it or not, that's the first shot of the preseason for Patrick Beverley. Not the first basket, however, from Ivica Zubac.
You like to see Zubac down there being very active, offensive rebound, put back.
Take a look at the starting five, and there you see Terrence Mann, JaMychal Green getting the nod. Zubac, Shamet, and Beverley all started that first game against the Houston Rockets.
I honestly think that this is a very comfortable situation for Pat Beverley as he scores that nice floater in the basket, playing off of the ball. You know, you don't have playmaking responsibility. He can just get in there and make plays similar to the one he just made.
Well, when you look at both Beverley and Shamet, playmaking, I don't see that's their main talent when bringing the ball across the floor. But there's so much other talent around them. As Terrence Mann knocks in a nice jump shot, that'll be a huge weapon for him.
Well, that right there, if he can knock down open jump shots, he won't have very many weaknesses because he does a good job of reading the game, of making plays. He's an awesome offensive rebounder. If he can develop that consistently, it's going to be a problem.
It's Motiejunas. That name should be familiar. He's a very good player. Spent some time with the Houston Rockets. Contract situations put him overseas. He's doing very well here with the Shanghai Sharks. Not as well as Pat Beverley here with his second bucket.
And you look at the pace. You look at the pace the Clippers are starting to play with. They like to pitch the ball up the floor. Very good execution right there on that last play.
James Nunley. He's also spent some time in the NBA with the Houston Rockets. Clippers look to push. Doc was hoping that the Sharks will push the tempo themselves. As his words, Clippers were not very good in transition against the Houston Rockets.
And that's just a great coach coaching, saying, I hope that they push the ball so we can work on our transition defense.
The Sharks earlier this week, actually on Monday, played Houston. And it was, let's just chop it up to a good experience. 140-71 was the final score. No one is surprised by that. Of course, this was the team that Yao Ming used to play for, then he used to own, and now Chauncey Billups, he is essentially the Adam Silver of the China Basketball Association.
As he should be, Brian. He opened up an awesome lane for the NBA and China to be partners.
Nice block there by Motiejunas.
I had the pleasure of playing against Yao. Well, displeasure a lot of nights, to be honest with you, but he was so good, Yao Ming was.
We'll talk a little bit more about Yao as the game goes on. Great ambassador, totally agree. For a country, by the way, that is rabid about the game of basketball.
Love it. Love it. I mean, they love basketball.
This is Nunley. Zubac's getting a little extra work out on the perimeter. Not a bad contest, but Nunley able to knock it in.
I'll tell you what, that was good defense right there by Zubac. You know, if you're a big man guarding a small guy, all you want to do is not foul him and not give him a layup. So that was a good contested jump shot.
Inauspicious start for the preseason for Landry Shamet. Now just 1 for 9 in these two games. Nunley with back-to-back threes for the Shanghai Sharks.
And you can see why he is their one American player. They want him to score the basketball, and he does it at a very high clip.
Good passing. And there's Terrence Mann. You and I talked about this the other night. You mentioned it. Offensive rebounding, he's very good at it. Oh, my goodness. Look out below. JaMychal Green knocks it down.
And those are two aspects of his game that you can't coach very well. Offensive rebounding, and how about the playmaking ability that he has as a young player.
turnover against the Sharks.
Now this is things that you can't teach. You look at just a heady play right here. He knows that there's a guy trailing right behind him. Didn't even look. What a play by the Rook.
That play was worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. In and out for Beverly. And we talked about Mo Harkless knocking down open jump shots. Pat Beverly actually spoke about it last week at media days, that I've got to knock down open threes because we know who those guys are going to be cheating off of, talking about the defense going forward.
Well, he understands and knows that he will be getting uncontested shots on most nights, playing with the great players that will be on the floor for them. So the way that he wants to be effective and continue to earn more minutes is to be able to knock down three-point shots.
Well, I tell you what, the last 50 games of the season last year, 44%. That was 9th best in that time frame. Strong drive by Mann. Better finish by Zubac.
Very nice, and that's exactly what you want to see out of Zubac tonight. You want to see him have a presence, offensively and defensively.
Ming Shin with the drive, a whistle and a foul. We got a break in the action. Clippers on top of the Sharks here in Honolulu. Fox Sports presents Clippers basketball, brought to you by Hyundai. At Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Visit your Hyundai dealer today. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo starting at $3.99, only at Jack in the Box. And by CarMax, the way Clippers Nation should be. I'm going to miss our time here in paradise. Just a few more hours in Honolulu before the team takes a flight back to the mainland. I think Doc might leave that shirt here. You know, I always thought a good teammate would support other good teammates, and wear similar shirts. But that's cool, though, Chauncey.
I'm not leaving my shirt here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's cool that you participated. That pocket really has a lot of pop to it, as we have a couple of free throws here for the Sharks.
It's called swag, man. Swag.
I mean, Mike Hill looked great. Jamie Maggio looks terrific.
Yes, she did.
Obviously, I'm terrific. I mean, it's really a letdown. Be there as the Clippers kick off the season on opening night Tuesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. against the Los Angeles Lakers. All fans in attendance will receive an LED wristband and T-shirt courtesy of Agua Caliente Casinos. Get your tickets at clippers.com before they are gone. A couple of free throws go down. Whistle foul will go against Shanghai.
And this is something that you're watching as they're picking up T-Man full court. This is something that most teams will try to do. He's young, he's a rookie, and they're going to test him and see if he can handle that.
To Michael Green, a whistle and a travel. Picked up the dribble too early. Just the first turnover for the Clippers. They had 22 against the Houston Rockets. Only 26 assists in that game. And Beverly introducing himself. Ball knocked out of bounds to stay with Shanghai. And there you see that pocket that pops there for Chauncey.
Come on, man. Look at this. Just look at this. This doesn't scream beautiful Hawaii right here. Can't believe you.
I'm just disappointed. I always heard great stories about Chauncey, the teammate. And this is our first experience. Mota Yunus knocks it in. He belongs in the NBA.
I agree with you on that one. He's a very skilled player. Can score down low, but he can also knock down a jump shot.
Yu Chin runs over Patrick Beverly. Whistle, offensive foul.
And there he is, creating an extra possession for his team. Pat Beverly doing exactly what he does. Look, he puts his body on the line right there. This is a preseason game, but he doesn't care. It's a basketball game. He's going to be who he is.
There really is only one gear. I mean, you hear that cliche a lot. There is only one gear for Pat Beverly, and there it is. It's overdrive. Green, open look at a three, book it.
And that's why I think he's a bona fide leader in this team. And that right there, Michael Green being able to knock down threes is going to be a big piece to this puzzle. But the plays that were made before that by Pat Beverly were huge.
41% for JaMychal Green a season ago. So that's really when he developed his confidence.
Right on cue, right into the bread basket. Beautiful shot right there by JaMychal Green.
Doc Rivers gave him that green light last year, and boy, are they lucky to have him back. He was a huge part of what they did in that second part of the season as none of the misfires of the first two.
You know, it's funny you say that. You know, obviously there's been so much talk about their offseason and what they've been able to do, but getting JaMychal Green back was a huge deal. Allows them to play several different ways. He can guard guys a ton bigger than he is. He can guard smaller guys. I mean, he's a big piece, man.
He's got a very quiet, soft-spoken demeanor. Do not let that fool you. He might be the toughest guy on the floor. Picks up the offensive foul. Second turnover for JaMychal Green. Hanlon met with a white squall around the rim, draws the contact, and will go to the line. Played 12 minutes in that game against the Houston Rockets. I can only imagine what it must be like for these guys playing against the Clippers or NBA teams just in general. And now, quick word from GMC.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
I don't know if it's kind of got that dream team feel back in 1992, but like we talked about earlier, how big the game of basketball is in China.
Absolutely, and I can assure you, I'm sure some of these players after the game will be wanting to take pictures with Paul George and Kawhi and Lou Will. I mean, what a play right there by Pat Beverly.
And the bookends meet, and Zubac continues a very nice start to his preseason. 3 for 3, 6 points and 5 rebounds here. Make it 6 rebounds for Zoo. Shamet 0 for 3. Whistle on a foul.
Talk about Pat Beverly. Just look at him. Nice, crafty move right there. And Zubac has done a good job of just collecting basketballs and being able to quick finish. Not take any time. Just go ahead and finish the basketball.
That was the assist of the game, brought to you by CarMax. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, Chauncey, but he struggled around the rim late in the year. As I mentioned it the other night, his hands were really bothering him. He had a hard time catching and finishing. They seem to have gone by the wayside as the rookie shows up again.
You know, seeing T-Man make this shot, he's working so hard on that shot with Sam Cassell in practice. Look at him use that pick and roll. 2 dribbles right there, knock down a mid-range jump shot. Sam Cassell has been preaching that to him the entire training camp. It's good to see him go ahead and come and execute it.
Not any better at the mid-range shot. Did the same thing a year ago with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and it paid huge dividends down the stretch for the Clippers. 3-point shot by Sao Leong. The Sharks hanging around here in this first quarter. Great look for Shamet, in and out.
Very nice find right there by Pat Beverly.
Only fouled by Zubac. You know, it's interesting. A year ago here in Hawaii, the Clippers took on a team from Melbourne led by Andrew Bogut. I remember talking to Doc Rivers about it, and he said this is a perfect team for us to play in the preseason because it's not about them. It's all about us. Clippers find themselves in that same spot here today.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, you have a training camp, and obviously you get so tired of playing against one another. Now finally they get to play against, you know, a team, their second team, obviously, but it just helps. You know, you work on your execution, you work on your defensive, your principle. I mean, it means something to get some new blood out there.
The Sharks are probably happy to see Zubac leave the floor. 6.6 rebounds. They're not going to be very thrilled when they find out his replacement is Montrezl Harrell. Moda Yunus, pocket pick, Montrez running shotgun, here he comes, look out below!
All led right there by Pat Beverly. You look at him, I mean, he's just playing at a different speed and tempo than anybody else is in this game today.
Leong to Moda Yunus. Nunley crashes into Beverly.
You watch Pat Beverly running down the floor. He sees a big guy with bringing the ball up the floor. He attacked him right away in the point. Great point guard play right there. You got a big guy that's going to run the floor. Reward him.
That was the Morongo good times moment. You know, I had a feeling last year Pat had like one of the many goals was to dunk the basketball. So it's interesting that he gives it back over to Montrezl Harrell. And I say that without trying to be funny because remember the knee injury and the surgery that he had. I think in his mind that was going to complete it physically. He doesn't need to prove himself anymore. Everybody knows what he's bringing to the table these days.
Absolutely, every single night. I mean, at any time you can get Montrezl Harrell going with a dunk, you know, to start off his minutes in a game, I mean, advantage LA Clippers.
Clippers were trying to do that back in your day with DeAndre Jordan. Get him started early. And his energy was as infectious as I've ever seen somebody's energy with the other four players on the floor. It's Magruder that has the ball. Now into Harkless. A little bit of indecision there from Terrence Mann. The turnover against the Clippers, their fifth. Clippers up in Honolulu.
What do you always have to eat when you come here?
I always got to go to Leonard's Bakery. It's good.
Kawhi Leonard and Leonard's Bakery seems like a perfect endorsement opportunity, but did Kawhi actually get to indulge in some sweet treats from Leonard's Bakery? Well, yes, he did. They had some practice delivered to some boxes delivered at practice the other day. Everybody got in on the action. But anyone who's been to Oahu knows that Leonard's Bakery is a legendary spot. It's a Portuguese bakery known for popularizing the malasada. It's like a donut. Kawhi said that's his favorite. I've had them. I enjoy them. What do you guys think?
Too many calories, Jamie. You
Oh,
know
please.
I'm trying to fit
come
into
on.
this slim fit
You
shirt.
only live once, fellas.
Donuts, don't tempt me with donuts.
Clippers have the ball. There's Magruder. Well, they love Kawhi here in Hawaii. They've named the bakery after him. They've got an island named after him. It's pretty crazy how much they have adopted him. And Kawhi got up and down yesterday in practice. He's looked good the entire time here in practice, but talking to Doc, that was the first time he really participated in all the 5-on-5, not just drills, but the back and forth. And Doc had a simple statement after the practice and said no one could guard him.
Well, that's absolutely true. You know, nobody can guard Kawhi Leonard. I know I'm pretty sure for Kawhi, we're talking about what it meant for the Clippers. For Kawhi, I bet it meant so much just to be back out there playing. You know, getting bumped and getting hit as you run through the lane. I mean, those things need to be accomplished when you come back from not playing 5-on-5 for quite a while.
I know the answer is it's different. Tell me how it's different. So he's playing 5-on-5. We'll continue to do that next week when the Clippers return back home. What changes when you get on the floor in a real game from a conditioning standpoint, and then what we would not see perhaps only from a player's standpoint?
Well, Brian, when you're just working out, it's most of the time 5-on-0. You know, you're just working on your game, you're working on your moves, working on your skill set. But you don't know if those things work until somebody's actually guarding you, you know, and challenging you. So it's a huge, huge difference.
Clippers by 5. Back with more first half action.
My favorite player for the last 3 or 4 years in the league, I can't disagree with you there. I mean, he will at some point, it'll take a little bit of time, Brian, to really get to know who he's playing with. Those things matter. It took a little bit in Toronto, maybe 30, 40 games. But when that happens, and they know how, you know, how to make him look better, and he knows where his outlets are when he gets double teamed, because that will happen. He is going to be, you know, when he's dropping it off to Paul George, and it's going to be special. I mean, we're in for a treat with our team this year, buddy.
Trez steamrolls Mota Yunus, no whistle, no basket. Ming Shin got a little carried away.
I bet this kid is like, wait a minute, this is the NBA. They don't call it travel in the NBA. They just call it travel on me.
Montrez with a great drop-off pass to Harkless, hovering above the cup, and he jams it in.
There's a nice play right there by Montrez. Comes in, no look, delivers the ball. Nice finish right there by Mo Harkless. Underrated passer Montrez is. I know you got to see it firsthand all year last year. Very underrated passer.
You know, it's funny, I mentioned Jerry West a couple of years ago touting the skill set that we had yet to see, and that was one of the first things he talked about was his great passing. I thought he made some great reads the other night as well, rolling into the paint.
Well, it's an advantage most times when they put him at the elbow and let him kind of facilitate. Look at him right here on the break.
10th turnover for the Sharks. Magruder was very good the other night, misses there. Here's Dunley on the breakout. Hit hard by Mo Harkless.
Well, I thought that was a tough decision right there by Rodney Magruder. You got the shot clock running down. You have an opportunity to get the last shot, and you take a contested three. I'm sure Doc will be talking about that at the end of this quarter.
Nunley goes to the free throw line. He was not shy deep in the heart of Texas. He took 23 shots against Houston, made only 4.
I can see another 23 coming today.
Mota Yunus might have something to say about that as well. Knocked in the first of 2. I could get used to this Hawaii lifestyle. I bought enough of these Aloha shirts this week that.
Oh, that looks nice on you. You, Jamie, Mike, y'all got some nice shirts on, man. I'm proud of y'all, man.
I just wanted to go with the team. I was just trying to be a good teammate.
I am so proud of you guys, man. I'm pretty sure they got an extra coach's shirt over there, too, if you want to take one of those home.
Yu Chin with the foul. Derek Walton Jr. There you go. I mean, they went into probably Tommy Bahama and just said,
I mean, just
yes.
Look. Bought the whole section.
Trez beats the buzzer with a triple and kind of helps the Clippers close with crescendo.
Nice right here by Montrez. Looking like Rasheed Wallace over that left shoulder. Patrick Beverly doing Patrick Beverly things. Most people would look and say, man, he's 0 for 4 from 3. But look at the impact he's had on this game, not only offensively, but defensively as well. Nice assist right there. Picks up, creates an extra opportunity, and gives Montrez Harrell an easy dunk for him to get going. This guy right here he is constant motion. I mean, the motor that he plays with every single night is impressive. It doesn't matter if it's the Shanghai Sharks or the Golden State Warriors.
That was the top tier play presented by Arco. There you see his numbers. Everything in my mind turned around late January. Clippers had a brutal home stretch. Go on the road against San Antonio. Patrick Beverly gets back into the starting lineup due to injury. And the Clippers put the rest of the West in the rear view mirror. Clippers go back home right after the game. Play the Denver Nuggets. But later this week, I don't even know what day it is. Today is Sunday.
Very nice play right there by Jerome Robinson. Nice pick and roll play. Mo Harkless is doing a good job of just catching and finishing, being in the right spots. That's a lot of times one of the biggest things you can be. If he's not in that spot and he's 2 steps off, maybe they have a chance to contest that dunk, but great spot right there for Mo.
Well, Mo played very well in transition defense last time out. Maybe the only Clipper that did. Ahead of the horn for Mota Yunus. Robinson with a rebound. Montrez outworks Mota Yunus. The ball goes out of bounds off the Sharks.
Look at Jerome get downhill on this pick and roll. And these are things that they drill in training camp every day. That was a very nice find by him.
Harkless again, right place, right time. 10-2 run for the Clippers. Harkless with 8 points in 6 minutes off the Clipper pine. Turnover, Sharks, their 11th.
Our defense has really picked up out here. I mean, it really, really has. They're coming around, they're contesting everything. They're picking up at about the half-court mark, but every pass is contested.
I would imagine you see as much improvement from game 1 preseason to game 2 preseason, maybe as you would all year. Maybe game 1, game 2 in the regular season. Get the jitters out, communication. There you see the coaching staff for the Shanghai Sharks. Great play, Robinson to Montrez, and he punishes inside.
And that's always a mismatch. I mean, good job by Jerome Robinson of coming off, making sure they switch and knowing, okay, the biggest mismatch is down low with Montrez.
Largest lead of the game by the Clippers, 13. Nunley runs into Derek Walton Jr. Well, that foul on Rodney Magruder. They're shooting 47%. They shot 37%. I guess the Rockets back on Thursday. Nice deflection by Montrezl Harrell. We'll talk about that. I don't know how many times coaches mentioned deflections to you. I remember